there are swallows everywhere. I'm a little bit afraid that they will take a dump on me like they do on my car or my clothes. When I dry them outside, well, almost every day there are some swallows. They bred here on my property. I let them do so because I like nature and I think every life is worth living. But what I do not like that much is when some bird flies over my head and takes a dump on me, and it happened. Nonetheless, I've got two lenses for you today, and we got the Samyang 35mm 1.8 for Sony, and we got the legend, the 35mm XF Fuji 1.4R. Well, these lenses are pretty different, as you can tell, but are they any good? I believe this one to be exceptionally good on the Fuji mount. It's one of the best lenses I think ever made for the Fuji mount. There's the 16mm, the 23mm R lens, not the WR, not the 2.0, no. It has to be the 23mm 1.4 R lens. This Samyang, well, I bought it because it was reasonably priced, I must say. It's not that expensive, it feels, well, there's not much difference, to be honest. Well, the aperture ring is fantastic. It's fantastic on the Fuji. The ring on the Samyang is a bit, well, I cannot say I love it, I hate it, right? Because you can either set it to focusing or to the aperture. But it happens from time to time that when you hold your camera and when you try to get the shot done, that you move this ring with your finger, by accident, of course. And you will dial in another aperture. Bah. And I think you can customize it. It has mode 1 and 2, but I didn't do so. Because if you switch it to mode 1, then you are not in danger of dialing in a new aperture. But then you only got manual focus. That's not well. It's not good at all. Like the birds that circle. Well, but we will now see. I will mount this to the full frame because it is a full frame lens. I could mount it to the camera shooting us right now. It's a Sony a6700 with the Zeiss Batis. Maybe I will do that too. We will see. And we will mount this to the Fuji and we will check out, is there any 3D pop? But first things first, let's talk about these lenses in theory. Should we? The Samyang. Well, it has 10 elements in 8 groups, which will give us a 1.25 ratio. That's alright. And we got 2 complex groups. This will give us this version of 0.2. So we should see something, at least on full frame. But this lens has 2 high refractive elements and 2 aspherical elements, so it is corrected. We will see what this will give us, right? But we will first try it out. So the Fuji 35 1.4R has 8 elements in 6 groups, which will give us a ratio of 1.33. It's a very good one. And we got 2 complex groups, no aspherical and no ED glass, and no high refractive glass or whatsoever. So we got 0.25, and this should give us pop, and it did already. It proved itself already. I made a video about this, and it is basically, it seems to be basically a copy, or well, not a copy, but a descendant of the Zeiss Sonar 50mm 1.5. So it's a good starting point. But let's check it out. Now I sit next to this lovely birdhouse. I mentioned it before. It's still there. I don't know why. Right now, Sony a7S Samyang 35 1.8 full frame lens on the full frame body. Good pixel pitch in this camera. An old sensor should provide us a very nice dynamic and good rendition. So we should, in theory, see pop on this camera, at least with this lens, right? So what do you think? Do you see something? If we see something with this lens, and chances are we do, then it is an absolute bargain because it has very fast autofocus. It never misses a shot. Right now, it probably missed me. I put a focus spot around where I sit, but it's no guarantee. And since the sun comes out right now, there's almost the guarantee that I'm lighted too harsh. This scene here, I think, provides a good example for that. If you shoot like that, I think we should have a good amount of pop. And I really like this lens. I was surprised because I thought, well, it's Samyang. It's a bit of a cheap lens. Only expensive lenses can give me that tonality and micro contrast and pop. But I'm not so sure whether it has to do with that or not, because first mounted on this A7S last year and I saw something, and I believe I still do. Now, let's see what it looks like on the A6700. What kind of bug is that? So, in theory, I put the camera a bit further out, so it's about 5 meters. We should get almost the same view. Almost. Maybe not, but I think so. Now, do we see something still? If we compare the two, the A7S and the A6700 with the same lens, does the sensor of the A6700 take away something? Is it usable on that sensor? Chances are that I'm pretty good in focus, because this camera is a fantastic autofocus system. But chances are also that we lose a lot of what the lens provides. In my opinion, it is a matter of the sensor size and of course of the pixel pitch, and the lens will contribute to that. As you can see right now, I believe, without looking at the footage, that we lose something. But now, and this is where you can see that it is a matter of the sensor. We will now put an APS-C camera, the Fuji X-T3, on the exact same spot with the Fuji XF35 1.4R. So it's an APS-C sensor basically, with the Fuji lens, which has almost similar specs. But the image will be quite different. We are in focus, aren't we? X-T3, XF 35mm 1.4R, legend. So APS-C sensor, the same, like in the same size, like in the A6700. But this lens was designed for that. It's basically, I believe, a 50mm f1.5 sonar from size, built for APS-C. So this will contribute to the effect in a tremendous amount. And the sensor will too. It has a better pixel pitch. Not better, but it has a wider ratio than the A6700. So you see, and I believe I do see, that there is a good amount of this pop. We have still about 5 meters. In distances, everything is the same. And this lens, I dialed it down to 2.8, I think, to match it up. What do you think? I personally love this one. And I love the look of the image in photos and in video. So I think this is the best 35mm you can get for the Fuji system. But is it enough? Does it render good? I really like this one, so I will not say anything bad about it. I could not. Because for me, it's the perfect lens for the Fuji system in that focal length, at least. We got over 50mm, so it's a nice portrait lens. And for video, yeah, it's a good amount of distance you need to get yourself in the shot. But does it look better than the full frame image of the A7S with the Samyang 35mm 1.8? Or doesn't it? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Well, does it look better than the A6700 with a Samyang 35mm? I believe it does. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. So in conclusion, is it even possible to compare these two lenses to one another? In my opinion, yes it is. The Samyang 35mm is a good lens, fast autofocus, reliable. It's pretty well built. Yeah, it's not perfect, of course, but what is perfect? But I think on older sensors like the A7S, it renders a good amount of 3D pop, and it is usable for exactly that. On the more modern sensors, with a lower pixel pitch ratio, like on the A6700, I do not think that it is that beautiful. The XF35 1.4R is a pretty perfect lens, even though it is made for APS-C with a focal length equivalent of over 50mm. But I do not think that this lens has less pop than the Helios 44-2, for example. I think this one is almost perfect. And there are few poppy lenses for Fuji system, and of course there are a few poppy lenses for Sony system. But in my opinion, the pixel pitch ratio that will provide the tonality contributes to that in a great amount. So this camera, the A6700, with super fast autofocus, very good contrast, it's a very good camera, but not if you want to achieve this kind of effect, this kind of 3D pop, as it is called. You will never get a medium format-like look on this camera. On the A7S, the old sensors, you will be able to achieve that. So this camera is not bad. It's an excellent camera for its purpose. But if you want this effect, I think you need older sensors, or sensors with a good pixel pitch ratio of above 6, I would say, above 5. Like Fuji, or like maybe the A7S III, 12 megapixels on full frame. It should have a good one. I have to look it up, but I believe it to be almost the same as the A7S. Which did you like better? The Samyang on full frame APS-C or the XF35 on the Fuji? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, choose your lens regarding to its purpose. If you want to choose fast scenes, there's no need for this pop effect. If you want to use it for sports photography or videography, there's no need for this effect. It's a luxurious product, like expensive cars or expensive watches. They are not there so that you can look at your watch and tell the time. You can do this with a cheap watch, yes. It's just a sort of luxury if you have the time for that, and if you can afford to spend time on this effect. Otherwise, the best lens is always the lens you got in your pocket or mounted on your camera so that you can use it. As a matter of fact, most people will not even notice the effect. I showed some pictures that I considered to be very poppy to different people, and they could not even tell the difference. It's not that it was not there, but people will not realize that it is there because they give no attention to it. See, you and I, we do, and this is why we try to find the best lens camera combination for exactly that. If you want to take pictures, and it is important that you get the pictures, not the effect, choose your lens. You don't need it, but it is nice to have. And we will continue try to find the best lens camera combinations for exactly that.